I'm David Goforth with the Cooperative Extension Successful Gardener. Today we've set up out here to give the Certified Plant Professional exam. We've got 125 plants that the professionals should know. These are a good selection of plants from our nursery, so I thought I'd take a minute and tell you a little bit about some of the things our nurseries can produce. This tree right here is one of the maples. This is a red maple that we have for a shade tree, and our nurseries do very good with shade trees. We need to put shade trees on the southwest corner in this climate, this latitude and everything, on the southwest corner of what we want to shade, things like our house. You can save 30% of your air conditioning bill by having a shade tree about 30 foot off the southwest corner of your house. So very valuable with the shade trees. I like the red maples. They have a little bit of fall color. The leaves will fall in the winter. The sun will come on through and warm your house. So a deciduous tree like this is very good as a shade tree, and this is one of the better ones we have in this area. We also grow the sugar maple, which is right down the road here, as well as some other shade trees, like this is one of the oaks. And oaks and maples are sort of our premier shade trees in this area, but there are some different options beyond that you can see in the different plants that we've got here. In addition to growing shade trees, we also have what we call specimen plants, plants that we just have there for the beauty of the plants. And here's one that I like down here. This right here is a tree that we grow as a specimen tree for beauty, although it also does good at screening views and also has the blooms during the May time frame. This is our southern magnolia. This is one, the D.D. Blanchard cultivar right here. There are some other cultivars that are available. The cultivars are grafted so we know how they perform. This particular one right here has the smaller leaves with the brown on the bottom of the leaves that some people tend to prefer, and it's one of the ones that's grown in local nurseries here. This is another one of my favorite plants right here. This is the blueberry. It's one of the few fruits that we have sort of on the shelf at local nurseries. A lot of times when we are ordering some kind of fruit, it's sort of a specialty item. We have to mail order it and bring it in. But blueberries are so popular that they put them on the, most of the nurseries would have them available here, and it's good reason that they're popular. In the spring of the year, they have a white bloom that's on them, a very beautiful white bloom that you can enjoy. Fall of the year, they have the red foliage real late in the season. Brilliant red foliage is a typical rule. But during the summer, they will have the blueberries on them, which is good for humans and good for wildlife. We should have a landscape that helps support wildlife as well as help support us. The blueberries are real high in antioxidants, which is one of the things that are hard to get in our diet, and to have it right in your own backyard where you can pick it 2 and sometimes 3 months out of the year, you can go out there and pick blueberries right off your own yard, is very valuable. So we'll have these. We also have some smaller plants like ground covers. This one right here is a Cabarrus, which is actually a member of the sedge family. A little bit, it looks like a grass. It's not a grass. It's actually a member of the sedge family. And it stays beautiful like this and stays low, and we can put this in some kind of lower situation. Sometimes we'll use plants to divide a certain area. Like this is a walkway, this is the lawn, and we'll sometimes use that to divide the plants like that, or to attract attention to an entrance. Like this is the entrance to the driveway, this is the entrance to the house. That's another ways we use plants within the landscape, and just to cover a ground area with a little bit different type foliage than say just plain bark mulch or just a plain lawn. And this is one of the ground cover plants that we have available in our local nurseries, called Cabarrus. This plant here is a crabapple, and you can see the fruit on it here, small little palms, apples, and this will look beautiful now, but these will hold on into the winter. Certain varieties, particularly this one, this is Prairie Fire right here. Prairie Fire will hold the fruit on into the winter and look beautiful. Birds will come in and eat the fruit. It is edible for humans. You can make a real nice jelly out of it, one of the fruits that are edible for humans, but mainly for wildlife and for beauty as we go on, and a small tree going on into the fall of the year. You can see this one is real resistant to the scab, which was a problem with a lot of the old crab apples that lost their leaves by this time of the year. But they have got good scab resistant varieties now that you can put in your landscape. Another thing we ask plants to do a lot of times is block the view. And this one right here is our standard one when you think about blocking the view, is the Leyland cypress. It is got some advantages, some disadvantages to it, but it's sort of the standard you've got to compare all other things to when you are blocking the view. The Leyland cypress has a few diseases and one insect problem that can be fairly severe. The bagworms will get on the Leyland cypress, as well as a couple of different fungi that will just bounce down the road. And that's why I recommend that if you have a screen, you don't put the entire screen of the same plant. You know, if you want to plant a few Leylands, they're fast growing, they're evergreen, they can block the view, but put a few leylands and then swap over and put some other type of plants. The nursery industry does very well on screening plants. There's a couple more they've got set out here for the exam. This one right here is a Yopon. That's a little bit different look. And also the Iliagnus is another one that makes a good screening plant. And even the Fosteri is a holly. It takes a little bit of pruning on the Fosteri when it's young, but it will develop into a very nice tree and a very nice screening plant down the road. Plus it's got the berries on here, and again, wildlife will come in. It's not a preferred fruit, but it's a fruit that wildlife will eat when there's nothing else. During the winter, the birds will come in and eat the fruit off the Fosteri holly. When we talk about wildlife, one of the easiest wildlife to work with are butterflies, or insects, and our birds. The butterflies, because they can move into areas, so even if you're isolated from the woods somewhat, butterflies will come through. And this is one of the favorite plants we have, actually called a butterfly bush, but one of the favorite plants to feed butterflies as well as other insects during the summer. This will continue to bloom, and it's still in bloom even late in the summer here. So this is one option here. There's some other options, a little bit smaller plants that you can put out for the same reason, partly for beauty, partly for the wildlife. Here's another one that we'll see the butterflies utilize some during the year. This is our phlox, but there's also a variety of plants that are grown in the local industry that you can pick up at your local stores. These are all plants available in the local nurseries, plants you can use in your landscape for all these various reasons we've talked about. We've got them on the test here because we expect the professionals to know these plants. If you've got any questions about plants, give me a call at the office. And until next time, plant and plant for a better world.